For so long, I've been trying to get you out of my head. Oh yeah, but somehow I always seem to wake up in your bed. Baby, if we talk for a minute, then maybe we'd be getting somewhere.
Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today is all about pantry organization, in particular my disaster pantry that is right behind me. So when we moved into this house, I intended to get to it, but there was always other things to do, and I have neglected my pantry ever since we moved in, and I'm finally getting to it today, and it's going to be a huge transformation because this place, this door behind me, this is just really, it's unacceptable is what it is. So I'm gonna show you guys what it looks like, and I'll give you an even closer up here in a moment. So as you can see here, everything is just thrown in. I will mention as well that this is a temporary rental, so this isn't exactly my forever home, and maybe that's why I've been neglecting it a little bit, and I just can't take living like this anymore. I have the camera turned up really high on brightness right now because there is no light in here, so it always looks really dingy, but I'm going to try and transform this and just make it much more usable, because right now I can hardly find things, and it's actually quite wasteful because a lot of times I don't even know what I have in here, and that's just not good at all. So my organizational heart is just hurting just seeing this here, so I hope that you guys enjoy this transformation.
Cause I got to know if you feel the things I do. I might need some help if you let me go, cause I'm flying through the sky and I'm sitting a little high on you. I think that we need a guiding light. Right now we're running around in circles, but if you don't even wanna try, I need to know it. Can we?
So guys, when we first moved in, I had all of these containers and baskets that I was going to use to organize this pantry, but I didn't have time to do it right when we were moving, so I just told the kids to throw it in the bottom of the pantry and I would get to it later. And we have done nothing except for contribute more to this chaotic mess that's at the bottom of my pantry. By the way, also, in case you're wondering why I'm backing up, it's because there's a camera right behind me and I don't want to bump into it. So guys, I actually don't understand how all of this stuff fit inside of my pantry. Like, this is insane. Look at all this. It's all over the counters as well. It's like a magic trick, like one of those clown cars. Like, there is just no possible way all of this stuff should have even fit in. That's pretty crazy. And I even already threw some stuff out, so this wasn't even including a few more items that I already tossed. So now that all the shelves are emptied off, I'm going to wipe everything down so that I can have a nice clean surface. There was quite a bit of crumbs that have accumulated over time in here, so I just want to give everything a really good wipe down.
My control, I want that something, baby, cause I can go without. Mama used to tell me love ain't right if it ain't easy, but I'm in too deep to walk away from you. Papa used to tell me love should never drive you crazy, but I lose my mind if you don't get his suit. I'm addicted to your love, to your love, your love. I'm never gonna get enough. I'm a sucker for your love, for your love, your love. I'm never gonna get
so my pantry is looking really nice and clean now, although my kitchen is complete chaos, but I'm going to start putting everything back into the pantry in a little bit more organized fashion. So I'm starting with my small appliances and I'm putting them way at the top shelf. I need a stool to get to the top here, so this is the stuff that I don't really need all of the time. And then I'm putting in this spice shelf. I love how all of my spices are organized in here because I can just keep everything in the bottles. They just go in there and then everything just looks really neat and tidy. So I also had some cereal boxes that needed to go into the containers because they were just sitting way at the top before, and that was very inconvenient. I'm also going to be organizing my pantry supplies into baskets, as well as emptying some other bulk supplies into jars as well. Have all the kids' little snack items here. I've taken everything out of the cardboard boxes, and that is making the pantry look so much more tidy when you just get rid of the cardboard boxes and put them into nicer containers. But I did have to do something with those cardboard boxes, so I'm just taking them apart so that I can put them in the recycling later. I'm leaving this basket in the corner empty for right now because that is where fruit is going to go. I just need to go shopping because we don't have any apples or bananas on hand at the moment.
Would you stay till the morning light? Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Before you turn away, I just want you to know that I didn't throw your stuff away. Before you make up your mind that I'm nowhere to find, I'm standing right here. I know that I told you we're over. I swear that I'm sober. Just listen, I miss you. And I know that I said all these things, but not when you're with her.
So the other day I picked up this Brother label maker. I wanted to get a label maker and I was just going to get a really cheap one, but this one was over 50% off at Staples, so I decided to splurge on this one a little bit, and it has all these different functions in it, and so I'm really excited to try this out. It just needed some batteries and then it came with a sample tape, so I'm just going to try this out right now. I believe the tape was 12 millimeters that I'm using here. So you just press power and then there's a capitalization little button down there, and then you can just put the rest of your word in. Also, there is a font option as well as a size, width, style, and alignment. So I'm going to put the font to the Calgary one. It's a little bit of a fancy font, so I'm just pressing OK here, and then I can preview what it's going to look like before I press the print button, which I'm doing right now. It says one copy, I press OK, and it's just going to print it right off for me. So then all I have to do is just use this little button on the side to cut it, and there we go, I have my label all ready to go. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a bunch of labels for all of the items that I want to in my pantry.
If I leave tonight, we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Stay till the morning light. Or would you follow me? Or would you let it be? If I leave tonight.
These labels are very important for coffee because I definitely don't want to get my regular and decaf mixed up at all. So with this baking soda one, it was a little bit long, so it wouldn't fit right on there, so I just cut off the ends and then fit into the space perfectly.
Tonight we could do this right. We'll find the remedy. Or would you stay with me now till the morning light? Till the morning light. Till the morning light. Till the And I know that I said
So I had a definite issue with plastic bags. I have way too many of them and I needed a way to store them. So I'm taking this box. I just got this from the dollar store, but you could just use any cardboard box if you wanted to make one of these. Also use a better knife than a steak knife. That's what I needed to do here. I got a better one so that I could get right into the corners so they could be nice and sharp, because I'm putting tape along the outside just so that it looks really nice and it's not having that jagged edge from me cutting it. And then I'm going to take my plastic bags and I'm going to place them into the box, but I'm going to leave the handles out so that I can loop the next bag in and just continue doing that. So this is going to be like a giant tissue box, but for plastic bags. And I'll show you here in a moment how it works when I pull them out.
you take my love for granted. Say a bunch of stuff you never mean, yeah. I think I need a minute to figure out my limits. You cross them more than once, yeah. You take my love for granted. We keep on talking.
I don't really like the idea of placing things directly on the floor if I don't have to, so I'm using these baskets to prop up my basket of chips and my box of bags. So Jeff is really loving to cook curry, and so he has all of his curry supplies in here. So I didn't really like it being in a cardboard box, so I'm transferring them to this little basket here, and there wasn't quite enough room for the protein powder up here, so I did have to move that down to the floor, even though, like I said, I'm not really a fan of having things right on the floor, but you do what you gotta do. So this basket is just extra baking supplies. These are items that I don't use quite as often, so I'm just putting them in the corner so I can still see them, but they're just not quite as easy to access. And then I'm just going to put this basket here so that I have another place to put all of the condiments, such as peanut butter and syrups and honey and chocolate sauce and things like that. And then I'm just going to fill up the rest of the baking container, and I also have a few more items that I just need to place around the pantry. This one is just all of my extra stuff, and I'm going to place that way at the top. I just moved my waffle maker over to the side so I can make room for it, and so that's where all the extra supplies go in. Now I just have a few more items I just had to squeeze in here and there to make room for everything, and I'm just trying to work with this pantry the best I can. It is definitely a lot smaller than my last house, so I'm just doing what I can with the space and the supplies that I have. So before I show you guys the final reveal, I just wanted to take you back so that you can see what a disaster this pantry was beforehand, and you can truly appreciate the difference. So now this place is looking so much better. It's way more efficient and functional for our family. I'm going to be able to look in here and find things. I'm going to know what I have. It's not just going to look like a complete trash dump like it did before. So on the bottom there, I have the cat food, and then the cardboard box recycling, bags, chips, protein powder. Then I have my cereals, all of our breads. Then in that corner basket is where I'm going to be placing fruit once I go shopping. I got all of the little snacks here that are easily accessible for the kids so that they can come in and grab a snack when they want to. I have my baking supplies that I use a little bit more often. Then I have condiments, and then in the corner there is the baking supplies that I use a little less often because getting stuff in that corner is just really hard to look at that all the time. That corner's, it's hard to deal with, so I'm doing what I can with it. Then I have all my bulk supplies in the jars, my spice rack, and then I have the rice, quinoa, spaghetti. I must say, by the way, having everything labeled just makes my brain happy. It's something about just being able to look in a pantry and you can just see where everything is and you don't have to think about it too hard. You might not even think about that you're not thinking about it, but it is easy on the mind when you have everything labeled. Anyways, I have all of my small appliances and other extra supplies up at the top, the things that I just don't want to use very often, and that is my pantry. I hope that this gave you guys some ideas, some inspiration, or just some enjoyment to watch me have an organized space. I'll see you guys in my next video. Take care till next time.